Day 15 is now in the books, and we literally know what the A block is going to come down to, with every man only having one match left. And now we look forward to tomorrow to see who will be closer towards being the one in the B block. It's the final stretch, folks, of G1 Climax 30, and it all culminates with a winner finally defined on Sunday. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good night, konnichiwa to you all. My name is Noah Foster, and I'm just a simple man. And welcome once again to another G1 Climax 30 Simple Take Review / Preview. In this video, we will look at, of course, today's action for day 15, as well as tomorrow's action for day 16, A block, B block, respectively. It was quite a defining day for our A block. So with that, let's go ahead and get right into the discussion. We, of course, start off in our unofficial, C block of the G1. As the young lions, Uyemura, Yoda Gabriel Kidd, they duke it up to see who can get the most singles wins this entire run. And right now, all three of these men, apologies, botch, they have been deadlocked at 4 wins apiece. Uyemura has finally stepped ahead of the crowd, I believe for the first time now, pulling off a very unique, let me see if I can remember the name of this move. Well, it was a double overhook suplex spot, actually, as Gabriel Kidd was going for the double arm suplex. And according to my friends on Twitter, they actually found the name of this move, and I greatly appreciate it. I wish I knew the meaning of it, though. I'll have to check with Chris John and see if he can tell me. The name of the move that Uya won with is the Kanukai suplex. So I'm definitely going to have to look more into that, because that's the first time I've actually seen him pull that out this entire tour. And honestly, I can't remember the last time I've seen him use that. But a huge win for Uyemura as he steps ahead now of his fellow competitors with 5 wins overall, while Yoda and Gabriel Kidd, they're currently at 4. And with only literally 4 days of action left, you wonder who's going to take this in the very end. We'll have to wait and see. Good, strong opening bout, which leads us into a match that truly was do or die in Will Ospreay's case, as Will Ospreay took on the Hawaiian juggernaut Jeff Cobb, a rematch from last year's G1, back when they were both considered technically junior heavyweights, and now Ospreay was a heavyweight. He brought a heavyweight effort here against the Hawaiian juggernaut, but Cobb, his difference maker was definitely, of course, his grappling capability, pulling off some huge moments, including a huge belly-to-belly suplex. Will Ospreay was able to counter a lot of this man's power, though, with his speed, pulling off his moves like the Sasuke special, but then Cobb, once again, he ragdolled Ospreay, and he stopped him dead in his tracks. He went for the handspring kick, and literally Ospreay avoided the Gachimushi moonsault, hitting a shooting star for 2. Both these men trading tit for tat. And then finally, after an Asiatic spike from Jeff Cobb, we get the Gachimushi moonsault connected for Cobb for the first real near fall of this match. As this match was going towards its end, he was trying to set up toward the irons, but it didn't work as Ospreay countered into a ridiculous Code Red out of nowhere. Shout out to Amazing Red for a 2 count. As this match continued, high octane speed, and we literally get a standing Spanish fly and springboard 450 for a near fall by Will Ospreay. Great fall combination at the 10-minute mark. Cobb was able to prevent the Os Cutter and hits that freaking spin cycle, apparently called the F5000. Good luck computing that with an F5 and an F10. The speed on that, my God. And then following this, we get a second counter, resulting in Ospreay using the corner to hit the Os Cutter instead. Then he goes for the kill with the Starbreaker, but that got countered to Coit's Wrath. And finally, Cobb hit Tour of the Islands. And ladies and gentlemen, Will Ospreay's G1 chances of victory are over at this point, because Jeff Cobb was able to beat Will Ospreay and move forward now to 8 points, while Will Ospreay sits at 10. Now, before you get on my case, let me just talk to you a little bit about how this works. With Will Ospreay's final match being against Kazuchika Okada, and knowing the other block leaders have already gotten a victory over Okada, including not limited to Kota Ibushi and Jay White, which ironically are the only 2 that have beaten Okada. Even if Ospreay did win at this point, the most he could potentially do is 12 points. And considering Jay White and Kota Ibushi and looking at their matches, if either man won their match, pretty much via tiebreaker, Will Ospreay was virtually eliminated. And as we go forward for this night, you will see my reasoning why. So hashtag spoiler alert. But anyway, as far as this match goes, Great opener, really set the pace for the night. A-Block once again stealing the show, it seems, and trying to step up from their previous show. And Jeff Cobb, what a run for him in this year's G1. He might literally end with double digits. But now both men have only one match left in their runs. Ospreay has Okada, who he has yet to beat ever, while Jeff Cobb, he has Tokyo Pimp, Yujiro Takahashi. And why people are already writing out Yujiro, thinking he might literally be somebody that will end this G1 with 0. I don't know. He might surprise you. He kind of surprised me in this match because Segway, he was involved in the next match as he took on one of the block leaders, Golden Star Kota Ibushi. And I will give the Tokyo Pimp credit. Yujiro really tried to repeat history. As again, the last time these two had a singles encounter, Yujiro did beat the Golden Star, but that was 7 years ago. History did not repeat though, as these two really welled into each other. We had drop kicks, and then literally we had plunge, then the reverse DDT on the floor, and then basically Takahashi, he may train a good portion control, slowing down the Golden Star's momentum with heavy kicks though to Yujiro's chest that put the match back into Kota's favor. But Takahashi, he was able to counter his opponent off a last ride powerbomb attempt into the slam, and then a pair of fisherman busters from the top rope. Literally almost gave Yujiro the win. Crowd was going ballistic, so was commentary. But in the end, as he tries to go for pimp juice, Kota Ibushi tries for the Kamagoye. That gets countered, but then finally he hits a rising knee, bam, and hits the Kamagoye and puts down the Tokyo Pimp. Kota Ibushi ascends above everybody else at this point in the A block to 12 points. Literally right now, one of your top tier picks to take this overall block. And again, Yujiro, poor Yujiro. He really is trying, but again, he is literally 0 points with only one match left, and that is Jeff Cobb. Can he pull off an upset and at least stop Jeff Cobb's momentum? Can he at least get on the board? Or is he fixing to end with 0 points? I wonder, honestly, if that's happened before. I know that Chris Charlton sent out a subtle tweet about somebody having a similar run several years ago. I think it was Tamaki Homa. I have to look that up. And if you don't follow Chris Charlton, I highly suggest you do. His live follow through with the G1 Climax action is very helpful and very insightful too. Anyway, really good match. Congratulations to Kota Ibushi on the victory. And now he leads the block. It seems like it might be his year, and it might be the first time in history we have somebody win the G1 Climax 2 years in a row, because that has not happened yet either in New Japan history. But I digress. Clean and disinfectant break, of course, the music galore. We then go into probably my favorite match of the night as the Holy Emperor. TAICHI, he took on Rampage Dragon, Shingo Takagi, and this match literally was tit for tat. Both men were literally digging into each other's arsenals. Axe Bomber versus the friggin' Pumping Bomber at one point. As Shingo and TAICHI, they start off slow with some mutual cream breaks and filling out. TAICHI, of course, he gets the upper hand early, going outside the ring, using what else? The ring bell hammer, and literally takes it to Rampage Dragon, then wraps a cord around his throat. Typical Suzuki-Gun maneuvers. As things picked up, though, and we got back into the ring, the Rampage Dragon fought back with a ridiculous backdrop suplex. Then Gamaguri found the mark, though, for TAICHI, and both men were down. And, of course, that is the difference maker when it comes to momentum in a TAICHI match. He hits you with that high kick, jumping high or out of the corner. You are down for a moment, okay? Period. But as both get back to their feet, Takagi, he hits a lariat of his own and sets up Noshigami, hits it for a 2 count. We, of course, got our Shingo combo during this, too. You know, the jab, the elbow strike, jab, and the lariato combination. I love that. Literally, these two are trading kicks and chops, kicks and chops, kicks and chops. As TAICHI does the low kick to the thigh of Shingo, while Shingo, of course, just wails in more and more chops to TAICHI. And then a vicious double chomp finally puts the match in Shingo's favor again. But TAICHI, of course, had a heavy kick following this, ducked the Popping Bomber, and hit his own lariato, the Axe Bomber, to put the match in his favor. And then both men literally, out of instinct it seems, get up and collide into each other again like 2 trucks. And literally this slows down everything until TAICHI gets a moment of awareness and pulls off, of course, that dangerous backdrop move. Man, that move has to suck. Anyway, as TAICHI then literally set up for his own Pumping Bomber, Takagi, of course, countered that, and then a Axe Bomber with a Gato Clutch for a 2 count by Rampage Dragon himself. That was really brilliant. Not enough to win, though. As Takagi continued, though, he followed back on his own guns, connecting Made in Japan and Pumping Bomber for a 2 count. As Taichi continued to fight his way through, he escapes Last of the Dragon and hits his own move for a near fall. Not enough. Both these men, we are over the 15-minute mark at this point. Super deep digging into their arsenal. The only thing at this point that Shingo has not hit is, of course, Made in Last of the Dragon. And of course, Taichi has yet to hit the Black Mephisto or the Buzzsaw Kick. As this match continues towards the end, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. The pants come off, and we're really getting into the end of this match. And come the end of it all, Taichi was finally able to hit perfectly a super kick and sets up Shingo Takagi for Black Mephisto and wins and beats Rampage Dragon 1, 2, 3. And again, both men are mathematically eliminated from winning this block and the G1. Damn it. But it was a match for pride, and in the end, Taichi, he proved that he could out-wrestle Shingo Takagi. And again, both these men literally used each other's shenanigans, even including almost a low blow attempt that Shingo, I thought, was going to use. Now he just counters Taichi's low blow. Really good back and forth, competitive, aggressive match. Loved everything about it. Taichi now goes to 8 points with only 1 match left, and he could play ultimate spoiler potentially here because his last match is against, and I've been waiting for this, the kickoff galore, Kota Ibushi, the block leader at this point. While Shingo Takagi's last match is against, maybe even contesting again for his never weight title, the King, Minoru Suzuki. And right now, Shingo Takagi, he stays at 6. Really good run by both men. I have been thoroughly impressed with Shingo and Taichi's matches. They have definitely been 2 of my top 5 overall participants in this year's G1Climax30. And I can't wait for these 2 to go at each other again, maybe for Never Overweight Gold. We'll have to wait and see. But speaking of Suzuki-gun and Never Overweight and the King, we then go into a very physical war and a test of survival. As the Switchblade, Jay White, King Switch, he takes on the King of professional wrestling and current Never Overweight champion, Minoru Suzuki. And pretty much this match was, I would say, 85% Minoru Suzuki. Jay White was lucky to trap him in a submission hold when he did. As literally most of this match, he just enticed the King to the point that the King, of course, wanted to destroy him. And this is, of course, also a G1 rematch, I believe, from 2018. That is the last time these 2 had met each other in singles action. Anyway, Suzuki basically connected everything here multiple times during some exchanges where Jay White tried to test his, endurance. He got knocked out for it. And literally we get a death clear, by the way, to Gato that stopped Gato's damage jacks. I think Gato was very intimidated, very timid to try and get involved here, even though he knew he had to, but Jay White had any chance of winning. Because when I looked at this match, the way I saw it was Jay White, the only chance he has of winning this is if Gato comes into play. As this match goes down the line, Gato, he plays Difference Maker multiple times and allows Jay White to attack Minoru Suzuki at the legs. Multiple dragon screws and chop blocks and even a submission hold really put the match in Jay White's favor, slowing the momentum of the King. And so the King got the better of Jay White on all these encounters, starting off in the very beginning with the armbar in the ropes. And literally, again, like I said, knocked him out 2 or 3 times. And then a chair shot attempt, of course, stopped by the King. And then he delivers chair shots of his own to Jay White. That's one time Gato, he failed to make a difference. And then as Gato continued to try and get involved, he gets knocked out for his troubles. As this match continued all the way close to, I believe, the 20-minute mark, White was able to hit a half-hatch suplex to the turnbuckles to slow down the match a little bit. But again, the King, the King. We literally find Jay White trapped in a submission hold as he attacks the left knee. And then Suzuki, he basically strikes him downstairs, connects with DDT. And Suzuki goes right back to the arm of Jay White, literally countering a Blade Runner attempt into a Fujiwara armbar. And as Jay White tries to walk away from this match, the King brings him back into play. As this match continues and we go towards the end, we get a, basically, this is the point you thought that Minoru was going to win because we saw Jay White tap in to the armbar. But unfortunately, Gato was able to distract enough. And again, this was a 20-minute mark. This is just a physical war and a real test of Jay White's survival. Because Jay White did not win this match. He survived. Because at the end of this match, what happens? Blade Runner reverses into a sleeper hold. I thought this is it. Gato comes into play after the God style attempt, which of course distracts the referee, allows Jay White to hit the dreaded low blow, and Blade Runner for the win. He survives and remains alive to win the block. But if Gedo wasn't there, there's no way in hell he would have survived this or won. So with that being said, Jay White now ties Kota Ibushi at 12 points. This is very interesting. Both these men now lead the block, while Minoru Suzuki, who is furious, I might add, he stays at 6. And again, he has only one match left, Shingo Takagi, while Jay White's last match will be against the guy that will main event again, as I talk about this day's main event, Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii. I thought that the King, again, really showed what he is made of. There was not one real weak moment, and I sense that he is not done with Jay White. Jay White has held to pay. And honestly, I could also see Gedo suffering at the hands of the King as well. You don't anger the King because he doesn't forget. Yeah, you won this match. You survived, Jay. But trust me, next time, you might not be so lucky. Which leads us into our main event. Ugh, you can tell how tired I am, folks. Watching the G1 live every day before work really takes a lot out of you. Anyway, which leads us to our main event as once again, Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. He main events and takes on G1 Climax VIP, in my opinion, Tomohiro Ishii, who gave everything to Okada and more. As these two started off subtly and simple, you could tell that both are showing the wounds of this tour, as Tomohiro Ishii's right knee is heavily taped, while Kazuchika Okada's back has been heavily hindered, and also his chest has been bright red, definitely feeling the effects from his last match with Shingo Takagi. As this match slowly starts, we get an arm drag that starts complete control, and then Ishii gets space at the 5-minute mark with a suplex. Stone Pitbull quickly, he goes into Okada's face, asks him to hit harder. We have striking affair, elbows land, and Okada at one point, literally one lands right into his throat, and Okada tries to pick up steam, fire back. Brutal headbutt, drops him where he stands. Okada, though, he finds a counter towards the 10-minute mark with a DDT. Ishii, though, who angrily gets back up to his feet, he literally throws bombs against Okada. At one point, literally trapped him in the corner, just chopping away, chopping away, chopping away, chopping away, chopping away, chopping away. And at one point, Ishii literally cracked Okada in the jaw. I heard bones crack on contact. As Ishii came into the corner, there was a reverse neckbreaker by Okada that once again put the match in the Rainmaker's favor. But Ishii, he fires back, hitting a power slam and literally roaring in the face of Okada. I kid you not. This wasn't talk. This was just a downright grunt, angry roar before landing a German suplex into the corner that was ridiculous. And then a superplex double combination by Ishii really hindered Okada's momentum. But Okada, he fights back with, of course, his traditional move, a drop kick, and then lands the tombstone to set up for the money clip. First on the money clips in, not very effective as Ishii, of course, he escapes it. And then literally he gets Okada with a German suplex, and then Okada has a roll-up pin, not once, but twice, tries to go for the flash type victory. It does not work. And then literally after he sets him up in the corner and does the shotgun drop kick, Ishii feels no effect, immediately stands up. And then Okada, he evades a sliding lariat, goes right back into the money clip. And this time, literally, Ishii, he is down on the mat, but again, he escapes it. Then we get a DDT into a double wrist rock as the two continue to fight on like crazy. Okada, then he lands another drop kick, but again, he's just like, whatever. Ishii's like, whatever. And both men are at a very dangerous spot at this point. Corkscrew tombstone pile driver, though, at the 20-minute mark and keeps wrist control. And we literally thought we're going to get a Rainmaker. Not quite. As Okada basically, he just suffered repeated headbutts by the Stone Pitbull until a rolling lariat, the closest thing we've probably seen a Rainmaker since, by Okada finally puts Ishii down. And then finally, we got the money clip back into play. But again, Ishii refuses to stay down. It's the third time now Okada tries to make that move work for him. And then Ishii, of course, his skull proves just to be unbreakable. A headbutt landing flush on the Rainmaker's jaw, dropping Okada where he stands. As he goes for the kill and the vertical drop brainbuster at this point, and we're at the 25-minute mark, Okada lands short arm lariat again and another drop kick, locking in the money clip, but Ishii stands up. But here's the difference maker that comes to how this move is effective. Backbreaker again, or a neckbreaker, excuse me. And he finally drops Ishii in the money clip to the point, I did not see this happening. Ishii's body gave out. out, and he slipped into unconsciousness just enough for Okada to win and keep any hopes of winning the G1 Climax and the block alive as he ties Jay White and Kota Ibushi now at 12 points, while Tomohiro Ishii remains at 6. But the story here after the match, of course, is Ishii refusing help still, finding his way back up and walking out on his own power. Man, I tell you, Tomohiro Ishii is beyond human. Unfreaking believable. And again, as I said, Tomohiro Ishii will main event again this Friday in the finals match of the A block, as again, he basically decides Jay White's fate. Because as Chris Charlton subtly summed up here for y'all folks, I will sum it up for you here too. I can't thank Chris Charlton enough. I really respect that guy. But before I do that, allow me to give you the closing scores for the A block at the end of today. Kota Ibushi with 12 points, Jeff Cobb with 8, Okada with 12, Ishii with 6, Ospreay with 10, Takagi with 6, Suzuki with 6, TAICHI with 8, Jay White with 12, Yujiro 0. But here's the thing you gotta really consider, as Chris Charlton sums up, and I quote, Okada and Ibushi and Jay White are at 12 points, Ospreay's at 10. If Jay White beats Tomohiro Ishii, which is the main event for Friday's show, the Final Day of Black Action, Jay White wins the block, period. But Ibushi wants a win against his final opponent, which of course we know is the Holy Emperor TAICHI. But it also, he has to have Jay White lose. And if Ospreay wins and all others lose, Okada will be the one, and basically there will be a three-way tie. So the bottom line is this, why Ospreay's hopes are pretty much dead in the water at this point, because that just seems like an impossible outcome. It's going to come down seriously to Jay White, Okada, and Kota Ibushi. Jay White, if he wins, beats Tomohiro Ishii, he wins the block because he's already beaten both Kota Ibushi and Kazuchika Okada. If Okada beats Ospreay, he holds out hope, but he also has to hope that Kota and Jay White lose. If Kota Ibushi beats TAICHI, he has to hope that Jay White loses, because even if Okada wins, he owes a tiebreaker over Okada. So the bottom line is this. One of these three men is going to win the block this Friday. And if I was a betting man right now, I look at it this way. Can Jay White do what he couldn't do last year? Can he win the G1? Can Okada once again ascend, even as this new form, and win the G1 and try and bounce back into the main event of Wrestle Kingdom again as challenger and get the gold back? Or can Kota Ibushi achieve history and be the first man to ever win 2 G1 climaxes back to back? This Friday, we'll have to see. Because again, right now, this is these three men's destiny towards being in the finals. It's do or die. As far as everybody else, they're all going to try and play spoiler. And I feel like right now, the number one match to look at is TAICHI versus Kota Ibushi. And number two is probably Tomohiro Ishii versus Jay White, which will close the show. I cannot wait for this Friday, and good luck to the remaining potential winners of the A block. Because again, you have to win the A block to be in the finals. Doesn't mean you win the G1, but winning the block puts you in damn good chance that you can. Anyway, that was it for today's action. Let's go ahead and look at tomorrow as day 16 comes, and we look at who could be really going into the final day of B block action on Saturday towards maybe winning this block. But first, we got to, of course, talk about the opening match, the Young Lions. We have Yota Tsuji taking on Uyemura. Uyemura right now leading both men with 5 wins. He also, though, has 4 losses and 1 draw, while Yota Tsuji has 4 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws. In overall singles record with these two, it's 10 wins, 7 losses, 22 draws, Tsuji's favor. And it literally is 2-2-1, Tsuji this tour. I look at Uyemura, I think about he pulled a move out of nowhere. And with Gabriel Kidd doing that, finally getting his first victories overall in New Japan Pro Wrestling as singles, you wonder if this move, this overhook double arm suplex, will be the difference maker in keeping Uyemura's momentum going. If he wins this, he'll be up 2 versus the other 2 combatants who only have basically 3 more days to try and overcome Uya. I feel like right now, Umera's in a very good spot. And with that move in play, despite the amount of history with these two, I feel like Uya might pull it off here. So I'm going to actually go with Uya winning this and going up at 2 deficit. Although in the very end, I still think it's going to come down to Uya and Yoda in the very end. Just saying. I could honestly see there being a draw. It surprised me there has not been a draw yet this entire G1 Climax 30 as far as the G1 actual matches go. Anyway, We now go into B block action as Headhunter Yoshihashi, giving us memorable G1 Climax Classics, but only sits at 2 points. He takes on Kenta, who sits at 6 points. Basically, Kenta, his hopes are near dead. He must win here and have Evil and Naito lose to have any chance of winning the block. Yoshihashi, of course, mathematically eliminated. He can only play a spoiler here. The last time these two met, you all know, was last year at Fine Spirit Pro Unleashed for the Never Weight title, where Yoshihashi came super close to winning the belt off Kenta until God got involved. So you wonder, is he looking for a receipt with this match here? As Kenta, who just out-Yano'd Yano, can he actually fight back now in just a wild wrestling match with a former rival? If we're going to look at Bullet Club maybe being all involved in the finals, or at least one have it to a degree, and I look at Kenta right now, who's got enough on his plate with that briefcase, and I'm sure Yano's not going to forget the devastating, humiliating loss he gave him too. I got to think here that Yoshihashi might pull the upset here. So with that being said, and the man only has 2 points, I'm going to go with Yoshihashi actually trying to pull it out here in the end. I think he might be able to lock in the butterfly lock, exploit Kenta's arm, and then set up for karma and get the win. I'm going to go with Yoshihashi. Following that, we go into Juice Robinson sitting at 6, with Zack Sabre Jr. sitting at 8. Singles record overall, though, Zack Sabre Jr. has owned Juice Robinson on all previous encounters. They previously encountered each other twice, including a previous G1. However, if Zack Sabre Jr. loses and Naito wins, he is eliminated. Juice is, of course, effectively eliminated. There's no way he can win this block. So with that being said, I look at this match. I look at both these men's last matches. Juice Robinson coming off a loss to Sonata. Zack Sabre Jr., he's coming off a win as well against, what was it? Yoshihashi, I believe. And the last time these two met, it was 2018 G1, where Zack Sabre Jr., he won. So with that being said, I'm going to say, Juice Robinson, sorry, brother. You'll just top out. I'm going with Zack Sabre Jr. on this one, because I want to see Zack Sabre Jr. in the finals contention. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. Lord help us. This is going to be a match that truly is going to define the B block and professional wrestling forever forward, I think. As we literally have, I lost my train of thought. As we literally have Tetsuya Naito double champion taking on Toriano. Toriano just makes me want to lose my brain. Singles record, it is 6-3 in Naito's favor. G1 record, though, Naito has lost to this man previously in 3 attempts, but has beaten this man 5 times. These guys have faced each other in G1 now 8 different times. If Yano beats Naito, it'd be the biggest shocker in G1 Climax this year. But if Naito basically loses here, it doesn't necessarily mean he's eliminated from winning. Naito completely has the block by himself, but has been pinned by Evil. That's the thing we got to consider. Yano must best Naito and have Goto beat Evil to have any chance of winning. Why some people believe Yano has a chance now of winning. I sure as hell don't, and I really hope that this does not go super long because my anxiety probably can't take it. That last match was the longest Yano match so far. With that being said, oh boy, in this city, I gotta pray and go with Destino here stays intact and go with Tetsuya Naito winning. Which leads us now into the other half of potential winners in this block, or at least 3 potential winners I could see, as Hiroki Goto takes on Evil. And their singles record is 3-2 in Goto's favor. This is their first time facing off against each other in G1. If Evil wins and Sonata, Naito, and Zachary lose, Evil wins the B block. But Goto must win to remain in contention. So with that being said, it is basically Evil trying to save himself. And I feel like Dick Togo is going to play a heavy factor in that. But Goto was able to pull off history last time, beating the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. So with that being said, can he stop Evil's momentum for now altogether and basically put Evil on the chopping block? I am going to be optimistic and say basically, because it's always surprising that Goto's always involved really in the final stretch. Oh boy, he's going to do everything he can to win this too, but I know Dick Togo is going to do everything he can to allow Evil to win this. Dick Togo is going to be the X Factor as he's been with pretty much all of Evil's matches. But I'm going to be optimistic here and say that Goto bests Evil. I'm going with Hiroki Goto for the win. maybe adding more embers to the fire when it comes to J1 and Evil and how both men are looked at in Bullet Club, or how they both look at Bullet Club overall. Something's got to be happening in Bullet Club, folks. I sense changes are coming. Which leads us to our main event, as the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, takes on Sanada. Hiroshi sits at 6, Sanada sits at 8. And previous G1 encounters, this is a rubber G1 rivalry again, as both men have shared a win and loss in previous G1s. Singles records also is dead even, 2-2. You can't get more even than these two. If Tanahashi wins this, and Evil or Naito win, he's eliminated. Sanada right now going on a JYS run right now is 4-0. He might make it 5-0. But Tanahashi must win and have not only Evil lose to have any chance of winning as well. So while there's potential for many of these people to still be alive in this, I see it still coming down to Naito, Evil, Sanada. So with that being said, I feel that Sanada is going to get it done here against the Ace. I'm not counting out the Ace, but against Sanada was my pick to win the B block and potentially one of my picks to win the entire G1 Climax 30. And honestly, at first, I was losing all hope in the early stages, but he definitely has fought back now and he has a huge chance of doing this. And again, Sanada made an incredible statement the first time in 2016 G1, beating Tanahashi. I'm sure Tanahashi hasn't forgotten that. And I feel in a way Tanahashi and Sanada, they have mutual respect for each other. And of course, the two mentors of Kaiji Muto. And I'm sure that this is going to be a very interesting match. I'm sure Kaiji's going to watch from afar. With that being said, can the Ace overcome Cold Skull? That is the question. And I'm going to say for now that, because Sanada did beat Tanahashi moving into the finals in the New Japan Cup. He's had his number multiple times in different events. Oh, this is about as tough as 50-50 you can call. I'm going to stick with my pick, though, and stick with my guns. I'm going to say Sanada pulls it out in the end, and the lights go down, and we really see who takes the block in the finale. Evil, Naito, or Sanada, because I think that's what it's going to come down to. And again, we'll see what happens, as of course that action will emanate tomorrow. And it will be the same time as today, 2:30 a.m. Pacific time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 a.m. British Standard Time. And this will set up, of course, the final day for the B block, which of course will be Saturday. Because as you know, the finals overall, the finale of the G1 Climax 30 is this Sunday. So it looks like there's a potential of 6 people that could be the one. Who will it be? We'll have to wait and see. We're on the final stretch, folks. Buckle up. With that being said, that's all I have to say for now on G1 Climax 30. It's been an incredible event and endeavor. And stay tuned this Saturday. I'll have definitely final thoughts regarding going into the finale as well. So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for continuing to tune in to this fun little series I've done. If you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of ... wrestling. So whether it's Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation, and Foster9016, you can find me there. Or you can find me on Twitch and Foster901625. And keep finding the Civil YouTube channel here at youtube.com/c/no210 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my HW family on Twitter. More content to come regarding New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, NXT, NXT UK, a simple chat live Friday night, 7 Eastern Standard Time, and so much more. You want to know more about? It's in the description down below. I keep it simple for you. Support NoDQ, WrestleJoy, Team All Elite, Wrestling Meltdown, the Primetime Predictions. Support Pro Wrestling folks, that's the heart of it. And as always, I like to close. Support wrestling outlets big and small, and let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, authentic, unscripted, unrestricted wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, I thank you so much as always for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell, no next video goes on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, help me keep growing this channel. Shout out to 168. This will make me less fun. YouTuber creator's journey. It's not laying up anytime soon. We get more wrestling and gaming content to you, and a simple anniversary stream to come soon too. So until next time, take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families. Enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. Find something that can connect with you. Make a friend or rob you out of it too. I dare you to challenge virtue. So again, be positive. Be conscious about others around you. Be safe. Make the most out of any situation you're in and find happiness where you can, like I do in professional wrestling. And until the next video, which will literally be tomorrow following B-Block action, where we truly will see come the finals days of each block who has potential of winning. We'll have to wait and see. I just hope you all enjoy your day and life wherever you are. And in my opinion, have a wonderful evening because that's where I stand here. Gokigenyo, sayonara.